Welcome to the Fab Female Nutrition Podcast, episode 157. Hey there, I'm your host Wendy Hill, and I'm a nutritional therapist and expert in female hormone health. I specialise in helping women gain confidence and understanding their bodies, allowing them to shine. This podcast allows me to share the knowledge I've built up, along with bringing you guest experts to support you in your journey. Chris, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you. I've got so many questions for you. It'll be all about me today, just so you know that in advance.
Okay.
So I think if you can give us a very quick sort of whistle-stop tour of you and kind of what you do now for the listeners, and then I'll kind of dive in with all my questions, if that's all right.
Sure. I have a YouTube channel now dedicated to skincare and wellness. So sort of a mix of both. My background is holistic health and esthetician. So I got started in that really early, in my early 20s. I'm 58 now, so 35 years this year, which is crazy. And got into skincare because I had skin issues that dermatologists could not clear up. So I had to figure out how to do it on my own.
One of my questions is kind of, you've obviously answered some of it, that obviously you had skincare issues when you were younger, which is what brought you to that. Did the holistic health, did you kind of heal inside and out? I mean, it's something I talk to clients about a lot. So is this something that you kind of found out for yourself as well?
Yeah, the acne issue that I had just would not go away. And it came out with a miracle drug at the time called Accutane, or at least everybody thought that's what it was going to be.
Yeah, Roaccutane here, yeah.
Yeah, took that twice, didn't go away.
Killed your gut.
It just made me really unwell during the time that I took it. I discovered that it was really for me. The shortcut is I did a fast. I did some research. There was no internet. I went to an herbal store. We didn't have GNC and Vitamin Shop and all these. There was no Amazon. There was none of that. There's no Google. None of that. So you just had to go figure out this stuff on your own. And this herbalist told me that because of my antibiotic use for the acne for so many years, I probably had a yeast problem and needed probiotics. I was like, okay. So this jar is literally this big.
Oh, wow.
Of probiotics that she kept in the refrigerator. This stuff was like almost voodoo science in the 80s, So I did the fast and the acne went away, which was shocking. And then I went on the probiotics, and then I was scared to eat anything because I didn't know what thing was causing it. So I figured out, long story short, sugar was a big problem for me. And so I cut sugar completely out of my diet for about 7 years, like zero sugar, like didn't eat anything. Now I'll have some things that have it in it and I don't have problems anymore. But I really had to kind of clean up and clean out the out of balanceness that my gut health was in. And we see that with a lot of things now. When I wrote the book and it came out, that was a big proponent. The book wasn't a how-to book. It was a book about what I went through. And it's still such a big problem for people. So, now we have Activia and probiotics are used a lot. While the book was out, MRSA became a problem. The superbugs that antibiotics didn't work on anymore because they had been overused. So I was just in the right place at the right time for all of that.
And I like what you said about the fact that you took sugar out your diet completely, but then now you have a little bit, because the thing is once we get that balance back, it's not about forever, is it? That it's then about making those choices. And I think your fear of eating, I see in clients so often, is they don't know what is causing, they don't know what's good, they don't know what's bad. You can read so much about food, it doesn't matter what it is, you can find a report that says it's good for you and a report that says it's bad for you, and they just end up overwhelmed, totally overwhelmed. So I can see that totally, and it's nice that you've managed to find a balance now. So kind of thinking about skincare and stuff, you talk a lot about kind of ingredients that you want to be avoiding and stuff. I mean, it's great. Same with supplements, I find as well. But skincare, give us the kind of the ones that we want to be avoiding.
Let's stick to the ones that are typically in all of them, and alcohol is one of them. Denatured alcohol. Now on the labeling, no matter where you're from, alcohol will usually be listed as alcohol or denatured alcohol. And the reason that that's an issue is because it's very drying to skin. They use it in formulations to help things not separate, to help give them an evaporative nature when they get on the skin, so they don't just sit there wet on your skin. Those could be a problem if you have sensitive skin or dry skin issues. One that is still used widely is sulphites and sulphates. And those are surfactants. Again, can be very drying. That's the things that make detergents foam. So a lot of clients that have really super dry hair issues, the first thing I always look for is what shampoo are you using? So I can kind of take a look at the ingredients, and if it's full of sulfates, then we change that out. The three sunscreens that people have heard the most about, and there's a lot of confusion about, are octinoxate, oxybenzone, and avobenzone. Now, avobenzone is the lesser of the three evils in that it does not, at the amounts used in skincare products or in sunscreens, doesn't usually pose a problem to humans, but it's still a problem in the oceans. The other two, in studies, I've never linked a human to a cancer from this, but in studies, in lab studies, those particular ingredients do tend to penetrate the skin deeper and can get into the bloodstream and can cause problems with hormone disruption, especially in children. So obviously, mineral sunscreens are the way to go. The problem with mineral sunscreens are they're greasy, or they used to be greasy. They leave a white cast all over you. They're just messy. So now what we have are some new generation mineral sunscreens that are really good. You really don't need anything over a 50 because and any of these, chemical or mineral, they get really greasy and you still have to reapply them. So I always say 50 is as high as you need to go.
So let's talk about kind of skincare other than that. So give us an idea on kind of what you would class as kind of a minimum skincare routine. If you've got a listener and they're kind of going, well, I normally wash my face with soap and water, and we're going, oh my God. So, not the same soap you wash your hands with, please. But if they're kind of going, and I haven't got time and I'm really busy and stuff, what would you say is the minimum? I have to say, before I ask you this, is I used to buy lots of products and not really use them. And in the past 5 years, once I reached 45, I thought, I need to really invest in my skin. A bit late, I know. But I have noticed, I genuinely don't think my skin has aged in the 5 years since I've been actually properly cleansing, toning, using, a serum and moisturizing every day religiously. I would say my skin is in as good, if not better condition than it was 6 years ago.
Sure.
So, so it does work. But for those of the people that are kind of going, oh, I don't know, what is the minimum that you would say they should do?
This is a great question because I spend more time deconstructing skincare routines than I do constructing them. You don't need 39 steps. I don't care what Kim Kardashian is telling people right now. You just don't
have the time, do we?
No. So not the luxury for most of us. So yeah, very basically, it does all start with face wash. We'll start with the morning cleansing routine. It needs to be a hydrating face wash. Your skin should always feel refreshed. Hydrated, not dry, tight, squeaky clean. That means your pH is off, and whatever you're using, I don't care what the brand is, doesn't matter. It's too harsh for your skin type. So you need to go to a more gentle in your brand, or, there's tons of these, Aveeno. What you want to look for in those face washes is glycerin, sorbitol, something like that that's going to be able to cleanse the skin without stripping it in the morning. And then a vitamin C serum, peptides, a spot treater serum, acid if you need it, and then a moisturizer. And of course, we did sunscreen, so everybody knows that's in there at the end. So we'll keep that one in. So really, that's all you need during the day. The great news is now there are multitasking serums you can get that have steps already combined in them. So you just apply one product. If you have textured skin, in the morning, you should be applying a glycolic acid serum as well to help speed and get that dead skin off. So if you have that textury, sandpapery feel, you want to exfoliate. And 2 to 3 times a week, you want to do a deeper exfoliation, either through a stronger like peel product like the Ordinary's peel solution, or you can use a buff puff sponge, which is a sponge that's very lightly daily lifts that off during your face washing process.
I tend to use that at night. So I've got, I use.
That's fine. Either way, you could use it.
Oh, okay. Because I use, I don't know if you've heard of them in the UK, in the US. I use a product called Tropic, which is a UK brand, but it's all natural. So it's vegan, organic, it's even dated. So it goes out, so it's all natural. Right. And I use like a fruit peel.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And that's kind of, but I use it at night time because it kind of says, they don't want you to go in the sun for 12 hours after you've used it.
Right, no, that's right. Yeah, always follow your package, your label directions on whatever the product is telling you to place it. But that peeling process is really helpful, especially if you're over 30. You're going to want to try to speed that back up because that accumulation of dead skin cells helps to create fine lines and wrinkles. It also blocks your other products from working well.
So quick fire round for you. So are you a log or a night owl?
Night owl.
Night owl. Oh, are you? Sushi or pizza?
If I had to choose between the two, pizza.
Me too, mate. Me too.
I'm not a sushi guy.
And is it beers or cocktails for you?
Cocktails.
Brilliant. Love it. Love it. And are you a beach or a ski? I suppose you live near the beach. So do you ski?
I do both.
If you could only do one, which would it be?
Oh gosh, it's too bad you don't have the desert in there. The beach now, probably at this stage of life.
See, I'm still ski. And my final question for you today, it's quite early in the day for you, so you might not know, but what have you got for dinner tonight? I'm in the UK, so my podcast, I say, what have you got for tea? But when I speak to Americans, I have to translate that because tea is a northern term for dinner. So what have you got for dinner?
That's a good question. I am going to another birthday thing on the beach.
Oh gosh, you're always out.
Just everybody in July for whatever reason. But I will not be having seafood tonight, although I do like it. I believe the choice was Latin or Mexican food here, which I really like because you can get grilled stuff. It's good and it doesn't have to be unhealthy. So I was like, okay, that works for me too.
Yeah, big fan of Mexican food.
Spanish food, Latin food. I don't know what the place is, but it'll be something like that.
Love it. Enjoy. Well, thank you so much. We'll put all of your links in the show notes. Sure. And thanks so much for coming out. So obviously YouTube is where you hang out most. Oh, yeah.
That's the easiest
that's way. The best place for people to find you.
Yep. All my links for all the other social media is under every video. So
perfect. That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for watching this excerpt of this week's Fab Female Nutrition podcast. If you'd like to listen to the full episode, then the link is in the notes below.